Here we go. The season for NJCU. They get it into Rodriguez. Working baseline floater. It's good!
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Pandemonium at Panzer.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Inside the Nest. I'm Vinny Introna alongside Jess Lipson. The basketball season ended in jaw-dropping fashion for the women at the hands of NJCU's Damaris Rodriguez. The men also had a tough semifinal contest. We'll dig into both of those games, and spring is here, which means lacrosse is back at Sprague. But before we get into lacrosse, let's analyze the play of the week, women's basketball versus NJCU. First round of the NJAC tournament, a real heartbreaker.
Yeah, it was a devastating way for both of our basketball teams to end their 2022 seasons. Those are the kind of moments that really stick with you and hard to shake off.
And here's what Damaris Rodriguez had to say after hitting the buzzer beater. To me, height doesn't matter. If you bring heart and you play your hardest, that's what I do every game. I come and bring everything I got, and if you give it all you got, you can come out with a win like this. It really is, Jess, especially for the women's team. Moments like these really make and break dreams and nightmares for all young athletes. Jess, break down the play.
So now to kind of set the stage here, Montclair State is up by 1, courtesy of Julia Sutton, who just sunk one of her 2 free throws moments before this. Now though, it's NJCU's ball with 3.1 seconds left on the clock. They'll be inbounding the pass here as Vero is clearly guarding that position. Hodges at the bottom of the screen will be guarding Damaris Rodriguez, and everybody in the building knows Rodriguez is getting the ball. She was slow at the beginning because Montclair State was playing some really good defense. She was about 6 for 20. However, leading up to this point, she was getting hot, so she's getting the ball. So let's see what transpires after the inbound. All right, so we'll stop it right there. Rodriguez, as you can see, creates even more separation from Hodges, and now it's Peterson's job to get over there. Trisha Peterson, co-defensive player of the year. This isn't an easy task for Damaris Rodriguez. However, she has enough time to put up one shot, and that's all she needed to send the Red Hawks home.
And here's what NJCU head coach Pat Devaney had to say after the game. It's the easiest decision I had to make in my life. She's the best player in the conference. You go to your best players, and cream rises to the top, as we see. There was a lot of missed opportunities for the Red Hawks throughout the game. Montclair State was only able to net 14 points in the fourth quarter, and with less than 5 minutes, Montclair State missed on 12 points, missing 6 open layups, while the starting 5 players only combined shooting 18 for 63. In the end, the Red Hawks had the opportunities to finish, but came up short. Next year's team is going to look a lot different, with Julia Sutton, Trisha Peterson, Riley Mulligan, Kelly Smith, and Annie Walsh all graduating. Tune in next week when we sit down with the team to recap the season.
The men's team made it to the semifinals before they dropped to the number 1 seeded Stockton Ospreys. They won their first round against William Patterson in a great game, but that didn't carry over to the next one as they traveled to Stockton and lost 92-78 to end their season.
The NJAC quarterfinals were underway last Tuesday as Montclair State hosted their first game of the tournament. Freshman guard Mike Jackson shined with 18 points. Welcome back Devin Cooper to the starting lineup. After missing the season finale against Rowan, he lit it up at the pack with 17 points and 4 steals as MSU advanced to the semifinals with a 71-66 victory over the rival William Patterson Pioneers. This means Montclair State will have to hit the road down to Galloway to face the number 1 seeded Stockton Ospreys. The Ospreys took control of the game from the jump and they never looked back. The Red Hawks had the lead for about a minute in the first half before Stockton went on a 20-7 run. Stockton's DJ Campbell and Kadion Dawkins both scored over 20 points each, despite Mike Jackson reaching double figures for the 8th time this season. It wasn't enough as the Ospreys advanced to the NJAC Championship, ending the Red Hawks season with a score of 92-78. Stockton would go on to then defeat the the Rowan Profs in the NJAC Championship by a score of 95-91 to book their ticket in the NCAA tournament. Well, if you want to know the biggest difference between last Tuesday and Thursday's games, Montclair State is 7-3 when giving up less than 70 points this season, and they're 6-8 when they let up more than 70 points. In their games against Wayne Patterson and Stockton, they gave up just 66 points against the Pioneers in their victory, but 92 in the loss against the Stockton Ospreys.
Spring sports have finally begun as women's lacrosse kicked it off this past weekend.
Yeah, Vinny, it's exciting to see one of our best teams going at it, and it was the 19th team in the country leading the way for the other 5 spring sports as they took on Haverford College in a return to Sprague Field. Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us here on the Red Hawk Sports Network for our home opener for women's lacrosse. And Brown taking no steps forward and just gunning it into the back of the net. Arcidi with a goal and score. 5-4 Montclair State down by 1. Yeah, it'll be interesting these next 15 minutes. See who can come through with the win as it's knotted up here 9-9. We have about a minute 30 left. Score for the Fords as they now take the lead. As the Fords score and extend that lead. But that will do it for us here today as Haverford comes away with a win 13-10 over the Montclair State Redhawks. We saw some really good moments for the Redhawks here and there, but they just could not get it done at the end of the day.
And this past weekend, the indoor track and field teams concluded their season. For more on this, here is Tenny Bello.
Indoor track and field closed out their regular season at the Fast Track Last Chance Invitational Friday afternoon in Staten Island, a couple days after placing 10th in the NJAC Championships. Anthony DeMalo placed 9th in the 60-meter dash with a time of 7.5 seconds. The Redhawks had a pair compete in the 800-meter with Sebastian Ruiz placing 26th with a time of 2 minutes, 2.42 seconds. Vance Delamac ran in the 60-meter hurdles, finishing with a time of 9.34. In the field events, Keyshawn Dixon competed in the high jump, while Declan Ambrosiani had a top 10 throw in the shot put. Matthew Halou was also 12th with a toss of 10.49 meters. Now on to our Red Hawk women. Sydney Weststone finished 12th in the long jump with a leap of 4.38 meters. Eve Rosado finished 11th in the shot put with a toss of 8.26 meters to end the competition. Overall, a successful event for our Red Hawks, and we look forward to seeing them take off at regionals.
Speaking of running, it's said that every soccer player runs miles every game. One player that ran a marathon for MSU was Michael Knapp, and those reps helped him get to the next level.
For college soccer athletes, being selected in the MLS Super Draft is the ultimate dream. In the 2022 Super Draft, 79 players were picked, and 78 of them came from Division I. The one that didn't go that route, Montclair State alum Michael Knapp. Knapp was selected 61st overall by Austin FC. His journey to the highest tier of American soccer started in Montclair, where he played 2 seasons of NJAC soccer. Knapp showed his potential from the very beginning, winning NJAC Rookie of the Year honors in 2018 and followed that up by winning NJAC Midfielder of the Year the following season. His time at MSU got the attention of pro teams, including New York Red Bulls 2, who play at MSU Soccer Park. Knapp played in 22 games for the Red Bulls 2 in 2021, and while this time as a pro helped prove his talent, it made the prospect of him being drafted up in the air.
My agent called me like 2 days before the draft, and he said, Mike, I think you were in the draft board, but you're probably not going to get drafted since you're already pro. So my whole mind thinking like, oh, I'm not going to get drafted.
To Knapp's surprise, his name was chosen. However, former teammate and current Red Hawk Justin Goldberg feels that Knapp had the goal to be a pro from the very start.
I think what really got Knapp where he wanted to be was probably his vision. He had a goal day in and day out and really fought to keep that vision alive.
Now Nap's vision is clear. His goal of playing in the MLS is well within sight, something that might have not seemed possible a few years ago. A combination of injury and not being at Division I would end many players' MLS dreams. But the same drive and work ethic that got him here is motivating Nap to go even farther.
From where I came from, I used to not even play academy, and then went to D3, got injured, just kept on working. You just got to put your head down, work. Don't listen to nobody. You just got to believe in yourself.
Here is what to watch for this week. On March 2nd, men's lacrosse heads to Collegeville, Pennsylvania to take on Ursinus College, while the women stay home to face FDU Florham. On March 4th, the men's and women's track and field team will head down to Rochester, New York for the AA RTFC Regional Championship, and baseball is back from their trip down south, playing at Stevens throughout the weekend. Men's lacrosse gets their home opener on March 5th against Gwynedd Mercy University, while the women travel to PA to face Misericordia University. And finally, softball hits the road to South Carolina to play in the Fast Pitch Dreams Spring Classic. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok for your latest Red Hawk Sports Network news.
With all these sports ahead, it'll make for an exciting time, and you can catch it all right here on Inside the Nest. Vinny, what are you looking forward to most this spring?
Well, Jess, I don't know about you, but just being back, enjoying the sunshine with friends and family, and watching those Red Hawks in action.
I totally agree, but that will do it for us on this episode of Inside the Nest. For Vinny and Trona, I'm Jess Lipson. Have a great rest of your day.